Cortney Warner. So you're telling me that you want to rent the entire East Room for a stand-up special?
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
This is Nashville. Music City. Not Comedyopolis, Manaway, Ohio.
I happen to have several references. They've headlined at least 4 bar shows combined.
What can I say about old Cortney Warner? Well, first of all, she has a lot of hot takes. For example, most recently she asked me if hot people should have the same rights as uggos.
What the hell?
You asked! I said no!
I don't know her.
Courtney, she's such a gem. She's like a multicolored light in this vast, infinite sadness we call existence.
Courtney Warner is one of my best friends. She's amazing, blows my mind every goddamn time. Ooh, have you ever seen her in shorts? Oh my god. The lady's got jokes and premises and charisma, and most importantly, she's a hot piece of ass.
Thank you. Again, thank you for being here. I'll just address this off the top. I know I look like an Asian woman because I am one. Surprise! But I think something got kind of messed up in how I was designed, Because here's the deal. I love Wes Anderson movies, I love pro wrestling, and I love drinking IPAs. So I think I am just 2 mediocre white men stacked inside of a trench coat. It's like running around trying to get diversity scholarships. Thank you. I'll be 29 in a few days, which is exciting. Yeah, give it up for the passing of time. Thank you. Love that for me. No, I've been trying to get my life together. I've been trying to get myself together, So I finally started working out, which is cool. Thank you. Yeah, because I hear that it makes you happy. Just makes me sad. Second, over the pandemic, my hair was a bright blonde, which was fun, and now it's a fun blue. And I finally got to change up my hair color, which is cool, to confuse the racist. From the back, I have a lot of white privilege. It is a real hatred in the front, privilege in the back situation. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. And finally, guys, I am in therapy. Finally, therapy. Thank you. It was court-ordered, but still. My therapist and I are working on this thing called reframing. Have you heard of this term before? Yeah, nice. Some well-adjusted people in the audience. I like it. That's my vibe. If you don't know what reframing is, it's where you have a tragedy happen to you, a really traumatic event. And in order to move on with your life, you have to reframe that thought in a more positive way. For example, after the show, say you witness a murder, and it's brutal, and you get blood on you, and it's horrifying. Just hypothetically, I don't know. I'm not planning anything. Say that happens, and in your mind, you'd be like, oh my God, that was horrifying. How can I ever recover from this? This is a crucial part of my personality now. Reframing it would be, but I get to be on the news. Yes, officer, it was over there. Look, it's all over me. See, reframing. That's how you reframe it. So I thought I would try that out in my own life. For example, whenever my former manager used to sexually harass me, fuck you, Tom. Yes, I'm putting this on camera. Instead of thinking, oh God, what an asshole, I can just think, oh, thank God someone thinks I'm pretty. Or whenever anyone's racist to me, instead of thinking, what an asshole, I can think, I bet you they think I'm a doctor. I'll be like puking on the side of the street, you know, like trying to take a piss at the same time. It's like, no, I saw you at Vanderbilt earlier, right? You took my blood. Like, yes, that was me. And finally, don't leave me on this one here, but finally, when I helped my friend's ex-boyfriend cheat on her with myself, instead of thinking, Courtney, you're an asshole, you can think, I can tell myself, you just saved them 20 grand on a wedding. Reframing. In order to gain some sympathy back, I'm going to go into this next group of jokes. So, I was adopted. It's crazy that's the only way you can still legally buy humans. It's crazy to me that people who are really into adoption now would have been all into slavery if they could got away with it. Just like rich white people. You know who adopts people, who's out there snatching them. Yeah, I was adopted in the early 90s. I was born in 93, and so my parents had to do the analog version of like flipping through a catalog of pictures with children in it. Like American Girl doll catalogs, you know? Just the old-fashioned way, you know? But now they have the digital age. They just have websites of children on there that you can purchase. It's like Tinder, but the kid doesn't have a say. That's what I'm here for. Thank you. I love you. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's not like it's a Wayfair or whatever. There are some paywalls. No, truly, I am so lucky to be adopted. I'm so lucky I was one of the chosen ones. It was very fortunate. Or so I've been told. Jury's still out. No, I remember growing up and going to church, and once everyone at church kind of figured out what the situation was with our family, I would always get just church ladies coming up to me and going, "You're just so lucky to be adopted. You're so lucky your parents chose you. You could have been a child prostitute. You could have been working at the Nike factory in the sweatshop." I'm like, I'm just trying to get my animal crackers and get out of here. But that stuck with me, you know? I remember very distinctly, I was on my way to the Christmas choir, the children's choir rehearsal. And I was about 8 years old, walking along there. All of a sudden, I got bullied a lot. I should also preface this, but like, obviously. It's very apparent. Walking along, going to my rehearsal, these two older girls grabbed me and tried to lock me in a supply closet so I wouldn't make it to practice or rehearsal. And the whole time they're like beating me up, trying to rough me up and whatever. The whole time I was thinking to myself, well, maybe the Nike factory will take me now. I can make 5 cents a year. Have a good life. Be so lucky. It sure as hell beats getting the shit kicked out of you by a 7-year-old in bifocals. Actually, my family's wild. So my grandma used to be really racist, if you can believe it or not. She's not anymore because she's dead. Yeah, it wasn't like she watched Get Out and was like, oh, God. Huh. Nah, Grandma died with hate in her heart and a slur on her lips. But she hated everybody. I will give her that. She hated everybody. She even hated the Beatles because they're British. She just didn't understand it. She didn't get it. I remember one day we were hanging out, and she was just talking about how much she hated Asian people. And I was cognizant enough to know, who I was at that point, at least kind of surface level. And so I remember sitting there with her and being like, well, Grandma, do you hate me? I'm Asian. And she was just like, no, honey, you're part of the family. That transcends race. Don't worry about it. Just open your eyes up a little bit more. We almost got them. Come on, just open them up a little bit more. Come on. But you're part of the family, kid. Chop, chop. It's fine. I was like, okay, Grandma. But she's like, but come over here and give Grandma a massage. I was like, Grandma, I don't think I know how to do that. And she's like, it'll come to you. I was also homeschooled, but you knew that. You can tell. Yeah, I was homeschooled like the whole time, K through 12. I was stuck inside a house for 25 years, right? Right? Until 2011, I knew like 5 non-familial people. And one was just a chair full of clothes. My best friend. People are like, why were you homeschooled? And I'm like, that's a weird question to ask me, but I can answer that. And the answer is, my mom was obsessed with me. She just like, couldn't let it go, you know what I'm saying? But to be fair, she spent a lot of money on me, so. If I lose my Apple Watch for 20 minutes, I lose my shit, so I get it. I totally understand. But no, the real reason why I was homeschooled was because I grew up in a really shitty part of Ohio. And instead of sending me to school, we grew up in a really bad school district. My parents thought it would be noble for them to just homeschool me. They thought I could get a better education that way. The only problem with that was they also grew up going to that same school district. So you see the problem. My therapist and I are working on positive affirmations. I'm really trying to love myself more, and so I've been working on writing some out. And can I share one with you? Wonderful. I mean, I was going to anyway, but I thought I would ask for consent. Cut above some of my other peers. You laughed a little too hard at that. That's fair. But the affirmation. All right. All right, Courtney, I know every day you wake up and you think that you are weak and you have no control over anything, partially because that is true. But just remember, when you feel like you are not in control of your life and you have no power, just remember that you wear Levi's jeans. And the legend has it, the owner of Levi's, I guess his name was Levi, I don't know, decided to one day test the sturdiness of his pants. And he hooked up 2 horses to 2 different buggies and had them pull in 2 different directions. And they did not rip. So just remember, when you feel like you are not a powerful, strong woman, just remember that your 2 thighs rubbing together are stronger than 2 horses. Thank you. Every time, just ripped all the time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyway, I have a lot of anxiety, like I said. For example, my favorite holiday is Halloween. Anyone else? Nice. Yeah, looks like you've been left in a Hot Topic before, so. Yes. Your first crush was Jack Skellington, I'm guessing. I am not projecting. It is called Pointy Boys, so. No, I got to go to my first haunted house a couple years ago, which was so fun. It was at Universal Studios in Orlando. So it was like the haunted house, It was so cool. It would have been even cooler if I didn't pay $200 for a panic attack. Most people who go to haunted houses, it kind of goes something like this. Oh, you got me good, dude. That was great. Woo, fun. People with anxiety who go and go, I left the stove on. I'm going to die alone. Oh, there's a zombie there. That's cool. What up, dude? I just thought it was me in the darkness like always. It's one of the most humbling things to happen to me in my adult life was having all of my joints lock up and I fall over like a fainting goat in the Stranger Things haunted house when a child just stepped out of the darkness. Absolutely humiliating. Oh man. So I know I'm not a white man with a lot of opinions. I'm just addressing who I am right now. But I do have a podcast. I am a woman, so it's about true crime. Thank you, yeah. I really have gotten to like true crime a lot more. I'm getting more into it. But since it's an improvised true crime podcast, so we can kind of bring in some fun elements whenever we do an episode. I love bringing in the supernatural element. I love bringing in like ghosts and poltergeists and all that stuff. I think it's fun because what I learned very quickly getting into true crime is that demons, they don't discriminate. They'll possess anyone. But you know who does is the criminal justice system. So I feel a little more comfortable with a ghost being inside of me. I do love movies. I went and saw the new Halloween movie recently with my girlfriends. It was girls' night, so we got crazy. And I love horror movies. I love the genre. I think it's great. But I have a hard time with some of the concepts in those movies, specifically the concept of a final girl. If you don't know what that is, it's where it's a woman who makes it through the end of the horror movie and doesn't die. She doesn't get killed. And that's considered a final girl in the movie trope world. So I don't understand that concept. And I think it's because I don't understand the will to live. Jamie Lee Curtis has been running away from her special needs brother for 30 years. I watch a lot of commercials too, because I have to when you watch a lot of stuff. And I saw a commercial recently for Sport Clips. Do y'all know Sport Clips? Yeah, nice. I see some of you have haircuts from there. That's very nice. Hey, it'll be our secret. This is not being filmed for anything, so it'll be our little secret. But if you don't know about Sport Clips, I feel like I'm mansplaining a lot. If you don't know what that is, I apologize. Just bring it back. All right. So Sport Clips, we're familiar. Sport Clips, that is apparently the only place that men can get their hair cut. I'm so sorry, guys. It's the only place you can go, apparently, based on their advertisements. I saw the commercial recently, and they were advertising some new amenities. They're trying to advocate for self-care and for, like, just pampering yourself, you know? And they do it in such an amazing way. This is the commercial, I promise. Sport Clips. Come on in and get a facial that'll steam your pores off. Sport Clips. Come on in and get a full body massage that makes it feel like you're in the WWE. I'm all for getting out cross-promotional stuff. You know, it's like, I think everyone should take care of themselves and hear these messages in the way that they can receive it. I don't think everyone is like that. I wouldn't say every guy needs to hear stuff like that, but for that specific group of people, I thought I would like punch it up a little bit, just to get a few more ideas out there for them to start thinking about outside of self-care, if I may. Sport Clips. Come on in and get a manicure and learn not how to not punch a hole in the wall, Kevin. Or Sport Clips. Come on in and get a full body tan in our tanning bed and know what it feels like to have a hug from your father. Or my personal favorite. Sport Clips. Come on in, get a full body massage. We'll show you where the clit is. Call me Sport Clips. I'm happy to work for you. Going on the theme of movies a little bit more, I saw Joker fairly recently, Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, very good. I watched it and I was just like, whoa, very interesting, because that iteration of the Joker as well, along with his character in the movie, the premise is he is a failed stand-up comedian. And then he starts killing people. And I I realized that I am just one bad set away from becoming the Joker. I got to do my first show. I got booked for my first show at the 5 Spot, which is a hip little bar in East Nashville, where I live. And I was so excited. I had my 5 minutes of jokes ready. I was so honored that somebody asked me to talk about my stuff, But unfortunately, as with a lot of venues, they get double booked. And that particular night, that venue got double booked with a musician. That musician bought out the venue, and so our show got canceled. They're like a Nashville famous musician. You maybe have heard of them at some point. If not, no worries. Lady Gaga decided to buy out the venue and do a show there. So my show got canceled. My first show ever got canceled. But because there was a payout, I got a little bit of that residual money. So Lady Gaga paid me to not do stand-up. Thank you. Do you want to know how much billionaire Lady Gaga paid me to not do stand-up? $10. I still have the check. Do you want to know how much I would have made if I had done that show? $0. It's always good to start in the green, It was great. I have a day job. I'm not just a full-time comedian. I know, shocker, right? Oh my God, she's so beautiful and so funny. No, but I have a day job, and the day job that I had before was I worked in a grocery store. I was considered an essential worker for the better part of the pandemic. Oh my God, thank you. No, thank you so much. You didn't have to. Essential worker, but it was Trader Joe's, so how essential was it? I didn't hate the job. I just had a lot of pet peeves with customers. And my main one was when a customer thought it was appropriate to start talking to me by just saying what they wanted, and that was it. I had several customers come up to me. One in particular just came up and went, "Cereal!" I was just like, it's pronounced Courtney. I had another customer just urgently come up to me and go, "Rice?" And I was like, someone's racist. Oh. And I was like, oh yeah, aisle 2, next to the pickles, my bad. Speaking of racism, interracial dating, who's a fan of it? Nice. Well, I've only ever interracially dated, but because I was adopted, I didn't realize that's what I was doing. Kind of like when a dog thinks it's a human. It's like, I can have pizza too. No, I've only ever dated interracially, but it is the most boring kind of interracial dating. Asian women and white men. Nobody cares. It's more just yes, as God intended. With your ivory skin and your entitlement, and your olive skin and your insecurity, the two will become one. And be the fodder for many a Wes Anderson movie or porn. Yeah, I've only dated white guys. I know. I thought I was an ally, but I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I always hope that whenever we go whenever I'm dating someone and we go to the supermarket or something, then I'm gonna make a statement. I'm like, look at us, look at our love. But no one cares. It's what's the worst thing you're going to think about us? Is that I need a green card and that he lives in a basement and jerks off to anime? I mean, it's probably true. But for real, I hate it when guys are just like, oh my God, Courtney, you're just so exotic. You're so exotic. And I'm like, exotic? I'm from Ohio. I'm about as exotic as a Disney cruise line that docks in Tampa, Florida. Fewer kids, though, that I know of. Fewer kids. I have a very specific type of guy that I'm attracted to, and it's men that look like Harry Potter with Crohn's disease. Just itty-bitty, skinny, tiny little men, you know? Just the ones that can never hurt me physically, but emotionally do a ton of damage. And they do. I think I like tiny guys because my mom didn't let me play with Polly Pockets growing up. Mom thought they'd be a choking hazard. You're there with me. Tiny guys, not a choking hazard. It's like a blowjob joke with a 90s reference. It's cute. It's wholesome. You'd see it on Nick at Night. It's like Full House, Courtney's blowjob story, Fresh Prince. Some people are into abs or forearms. Not me. I like a nice rib cage. You all laugh now, but after the show, go find yourself a skinny man and go make out with him. And then just do one of these. And tell me that's not relaxing. So hot, so hot. Way more relaxing than any ocean sound CD you'd ever get at a Cracker Barrel. I might lose you in this part, and that's okay. We're along for the journey. I almost became a registered sex offender. It was because a few years ago, me and my boyfriend at the time, we were out at the park, broad daylight. We were walking around, saw like a couple of families having a picnic, and then we saw a little family of deer trot along in front of us, and it was very magical. So naturally, that got us horny. So we start making out in the park. I'm not thinking about anything well, I am thinking about one thing, but you know. And then all of a sudden, before I know it, my shorts come flying off and he starts going down on me. We're doing our thing. It's great. It's happening. Then all of a sudden, even before I hear the sirens, my boyfriend is so pale that I see the red and white flashes on his fucking face. Woo, woo. And we're like, oh my God, it's the fuzz. We gotta do something. He tries to be gentlemanly and cover me up, but again, as we talked about, he is the width of a toothpick. So he covers up a third of my labia. He's just like, I got you, girl. And I'm like, don't even bother, don't even. But I'm trying to get my shorts up. We see the cop pulling up, and I'm like struggling to stuff everything back in where it needs to be. Because, in case you didn't know, my pussy is kind of like a car wash. Just a lot of flaps and bristles going along. A little man on the inside just waving you in. So I have a lot I gotta tuck back into these shorts. Now I'm struggling to pull them up, underwear's down at the knees, you know, and the cop is like, what are you kids doing out here? And I'm like, oh, officer, I just dropped my phone. We're looking for it. Not a lie, when my shorts came off, God knows where the phone went. Meanwhile, I have like pubes sticking out of the zipper, like it's a whole thing. And the cop looks at us, questions us for a little while longer. Again, underwear down at the knees, pubes out, like weird sheen on my boyfriend's face. He knows what was going on. He was just getting in. I don't know what he was doing, but whatever. None of my business. It wasn't his business either. And he was like, I'll let you kids off with a warning, but don't do that again. And I was like, yeah, no worries, no worries. I just couldn't imagine being on a registry, you know? Like, I like being on the list for things, but like not that one. Like, I couldn't imagine having to, like, every time I moved, go up to every house and go, oh, hi, hello, my name's Cortney Warner. I just live down the street from you. I made some cookies, here you go. Just so you know, I am a registered sex offender. But like not in the way that you think, but it's like, you know, it's like in the cool way, so. But don't worry about it. I'll see you around. I couldn't imagine doing that, mostly because I hate talking to people. It's like the worst parts of Jehovah's Witness and Catholicism. All in one. I just think, honestly, they should make a law that you cannot be convicted unless you come. I think that may be the case because that's why women never get caught. I'm saying, I just picture we're in the courthouse, like, order in the court. All right, will you please rise? Were you being indecent in public? Yeah, I was. Yes. All right, well, did you come? No. Dismissed. I've been in love before. Anyone else been in love? Yeah. This is a lot more than for a normal comedy crowd, so. No, I was super in love once. I thought I was gonna marry this guy. Granted, I was 19, but I was raised in a religious household, so by the time I was 19, I was a spinster at that point. I was hanging out with him one night in the back of his Jeep Patriot, super hot if you lived in Ohio, and he looked over at me super intensely, and I was just like, oh my God, he's gonna propose, this is it. He's gonna propose to me. How fast can I change the status on Facebook? Oh my God. And he just goes, hey babe, hey Courtney. I was like, yes. He's like, I don't know how to say this. I'm like, just say it. I'm gay. And I was just like, okay, cool, great, no? Like, how gay, how much? Like, how gay are you? Is it like, do boobs totally gross you out? Or can I pull my hair back and put a strap on and call it good? I would fuck a man in the ass. Thank you. For love. Also a little bit of power in there too, let's be honest. Thank you. Also, I really loved him. I wanted to make it work, but also like I had just ordered us monogram Star Wars mugs off of Etsy. And they were kind of non-refundable. So I really needed to make this work. If you want to know how that love story ended, if anyone would like a couple of mugs, they're available for sale in the back. All right. This is one of the first jokes I ever wrote, and I just wanted it on here just for propriety's sake. And if you hate it, that's fair. I was 22 when I wrote that. I didn't like myself at 22 either. So I've been coloring my hair for a long time, a lot of fun colors. I had my hair red for a while, but then I had to change that because one time I was at a bar and this guy very drunkenly went, hey, sweetheart, does the carpet match the drapes? And I was like, yeah, for one whole week every 28 days. Wrote that the first week I ever started doing comedy, so thank you. Guys, did you get to watch any R-rated movies growing up? Your parents ever let you do that? Very nice. I did too, not to brag. I got to watch a couple of R-rated movies. Well, shout them out. What are some of the ones you got to see as a kid? Alien, Titanic, what? Nice. Pretty Woman, nice. I got to as well. I definitely did. As in, my mom made me watch The Passion of the Christ at 10 years old. We were all going in with our youth group on a Sunday. Instead of going to church, we got to go to a movie. It was like 2003. So all the good movies were coming out. We walked past Harry Potter. We walked past Shrek 2. We walked past The Matrix. All just to get into a movie and watch a man get the shit beat out of him for 3 hours. Horrifying. I remember very vividly when what's his face was carrying the cross. I mean the actor. I know who Jesus is. Walking across, carrying that cross on his back. And then he gets like, bam, bam, up on that cross, I remember seeing him like all just like beaten up and tattered and thinking, wow, I am so horny right now. It's when I became a woman. It's like, can you blame me? It's like a hot man with like a middle part. Just like I would jerk off for Jesus. Absolutely. Also, he died for me. down on my knees if a man opens the door for me. Can you imagine what I would do if a man is like, I will die for you. Just let me inside of you. Yes, please. It's amazing that I'm not like a serial killer or just like a major deviant just based on my sexual awakening. Because I also remember the first time I masturbated. I know, yeah. It was pretty cool. Pretty tight. It was to an episode of Criminal Minds. And both of my parents were in the room. Look, I was adopted. It is not illegal. It is just weird. Just want to put that out there into the world. We're sitting there having family time watching Criminal Minds, my mom's favorite show. I had grandma's hand-knitted Afghan on my lap, bowl of popcorn, happy as can be. I was like young, I was like, I don't know, 11 or 28, I don't know. I can never remember. Sitting there, and all of a sudden I just kind of wiggle around and I'm like, what? What is happening? I'm just like, well, we're just gonna keep following this here, okay. It's like, my mom's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, don't worry about it, it's fine, don't worry about it. Fine. I feel great, I don't know, I just have an itch, is all. Meanwhile, on screen, the body was brutally decapitated in 8 different spots. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. And it was gonna be a real Russian roulette on who was gonna be on screen when I came, They have a hot cast, they have a big cast, but just based on everything you've heard tonight, and based on your knowledge of Criminal Minds, I'm sure you can probably guess who was on screen when I came. Dr. Reed. It was a dead body. Because I love a deadbeat guy. I will be the breadwinner and the trophy wife. Oh my God. So we've talked about a big theme tonight, not only that I should be canceled, but also that I love movies. I love movies so much. But Hollywood does this thing that I don't like very much, and it's called whitewashing. And if you don't know what that is, it's where they take a role meant for a minority and they put a white person in there instead. Happens more than we know, because the other day I took a BuzzFeed quiz called Who Would Play You in the movie version of your life? I got Paul Walker. You know that dead guy? Apparently a dead white guy has a better chance of playing an Asian woman than any Asian women. I got so mad. I took that quiz like 3 more times. I got Chris Pratt, Adam Driver, Rosie O'Donnell, all these white guys. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for coming out tonight.